chosen one. They are devastated that their behavior backfired. So devastated that the very person who thought they could outsmart you is now in full-blown panic mode. The moment your clarity activated, their entire operation began to crumble, and the harder they dig, the more obvious their deception becomes. Now they're terrified because the countdown has already begun, and they finally realize they didn't outsmart you. You outgrew them. What nobody will admit out loud, but everyone knows deep in their soul is this: you showed up as an answered prayer. People literally wish for someone like you. They pray for loyalty like yours. They beg the universe for commitment like yours. They dream about love like yours. You were the wish fulfillment, exactly what was requested, precisely what was needed. Someone prayed for a person as fair as you, as truthful as you, as committed as you, as real as you. Then you walked into this life and gave everything asked for, everything claimed to be wanted, everything said to be needed. You were the complete package, the real deal. And what happened to that blessing? It got treated like trash. It got gambled away. It got risked repeatedly because someone refused to see the value standing directly in front of them. While you were being this wish fulfillment, while you were showing up with unconditional love, while you were pouring everything you had into this connection, something was happening behind your back, something you could not see yet, something that would not make sense until much later. This person was stuck on a hamster wheel, same behaviors repeating endlessly, same violations happening repeatedly, same disrespect occurring constantly, over and over and over. You started to notice this pattern. You began to see the predictability. You could tell when arguments would come. You knew when things would get strange. You saw passive aggression approaching days in advance. It became clockwork, a cycle that never broke. This person was not accidentally stuck in this pattern. There was commitment to staying on that wheel. There was determination to continue the same cycle. People surrounded this individual who kept them spinning. Family members, inner circle, all invested in maintaining the dysfunction, all comfortable with the chaos, all threatened by your standards. Your love exposed something nobody wanted revealed. If anyone acknowledged how real you were, how present you showed up, how committed you actually remained, then everyone would have to acknowledge the fakeness surrounding you. Everyone would have to face their own emptiness. Everyone would have to admit their own games. Nobody was ready for that level of honesty. So instead, pretending continued, faking continued, playing continued, and you got kept on rotation while next moves got figured out. But time was running out. You can only play games with someone like you for so long before consequences arrive. You only give so many chances before you are done. You only tolerate so much disrespect before something inside you shifts permanently. That shift terrifies people who took you for granted, because once you are done, you are completely done. No coming back, no second chances, no explanations accepted. Dark whispers were spreading about you. Conversations were happening in rooms where you had no seat. Stories were getting twisted in circles you had no access to, and the person closest to you knew about it, either participated in it or allowed it to continue unchecked. Someone with a destructive mouth was running around creating false narratives, building cases, planting seeds of doubt, making you look bad to make themselves look good. This was not a solo mission. This was coordinated effort. Family members were involved. Inner circle was participating. Everyone was working together to create a distorted image of who you really are. The goal was clear: make you sad, make you broken, make you feel isolated. People were actually wishing for your downfall, hoping you would be crushed, wanting you to fail. And when things got difficult for you, when circumstances became challenging, celebrations happened. Glasses clinked over your struggles, laughter erupted about your pain. Victory was felt watching you go through hard times. You were picking up on patterns. You were noticing signs. Your intuition was showing you things. Maybe you caught something unexpected. Maybe you overheard a conversation meant to stay private. Maybe pieces started clicking together in your mind. Whatever triggered it, you started waking up to reality. That awakening changed the entire game. Manipulators need blindness to succeed. Liars need belief to thrive. Game players need participation to continue. But you stopped playing. You started asking questions. You started connecting dots that did not add up. You started seeing patterns that revealed intentions, and that awareness terrified everyone involved. The behaviors being criticized in you, those were actually being demonstrated by your critics. The character flaws being pointed out, those were reflections in a mirror. Everything got projected onto you. You got made out to be the villain when you were actually the one being harmed. You got painted as difficult when you were simply setting boundaries. You got portrayed as unreasonable when you were just demanding basic respect. For a season, this false narrative worked. For a moment, people believed the distortion. Even you questioned yourself at times. That is how skilled the manipulation was. That is how practiced the deception had become. But you carry something that manipulation cannot touch. You have connection to truth that cannot be severed. You have discernment that cannot be fooled indefinitely. You have inner knowing that recognizes counterfeit every time. Now you could feel pressure building in the atmosphere. Something was about to explode. Someone was about to get blown off that hamster wheel. The universe had reached its limit. Time had run out. Consequences were coming whether anyone was ready or not. Look at what was stacking up around you. Toxic patterns repeating endlessly. Dark whispers spreading continuously. Projection happening constantly. Gaslighting running rampant. An inner circle enabling everything. Family members participating in dysfunction. And sitting on top of all this chaos was rage, ready to explode. Pressure cooker energy about to blow. The same violations kept happening. Your boundaries kept getting crossed. Your trust kept getting broken. Your peace kept getting disturbed. Your mind kept getting played with, and you were expected to just accept it. You were supposed to love through it. Your commitment was assumed to be unconditional enough to tolerate anything. That assumption was completely wrong. Something shifted inside you that nobody anticipated. You stopped absorbing chaos. You stopped making excuses for destructive behavior. You stopped sacrificing your peace for someone else's comfort. You decided you were done being on that hamster wheel. And the moment you stepped off, the moment you chose yourself, the moment you walked away with your dignity intact, everything started shaking for everyone involved. Now consequences were arriving that had never been experienced before. Real consequences, the kind that cannot be talked away or manipulated around or blamed on someone else. Behavior was backfiring, schemes were collapsing, lies were being exposed, and you got to watch it happen in real time with no involvement needed. If this message speaks to your soul, hype this video so other chosen ones can discover it. Memories started flooding back. Thoughts about how you showed up kept surfacing. Recollections of times you were there when no one else was. Remembrances of ways you provided support. Flashbacks of sacrifices you made. Visions of love you gave. And comparisons started happening. How you showed up versus how you got treated. The comparison was devastating. The reality was crushing. The truth was unbearable. But we have not reached the climax yet. Pressure is still building. While internal turmoil is mounting, while personal worlds are starting to crack, while consequences are beginning to surface, something else is happening. People are starting to ask questions. Stories are not adding up anymore. The narrative is falling apart piece by piece, and panic is setting in because proof is needed, evidence is required, something must support the lies told about you. That realization brings genuine terror. Searching for information has become desperate. Looking for evidence has become frantic. Trying to find anything that supports false narratives has become all-consuming. And nothing is being found. Because nothing exists. Because everything was fabricated. While this desperate search continues, while scrambling intensifies, while time runs out faster, something else is happening simultaneously. Reminiscing has begun. Remembering has started. Thinking about you has become constant. About your commitment. About your loyalty. About how you showed up when it mattered, and this awareness is absolutely devastating. This is the moment. This is the realization. This is when everything hits at once like a freight train. You always get pointed back to. Every relationship that comes after you gets compared to you. Every person encountered gets measured against your standard. Every connection attempted falls short because it cannot match what existed with you. You are the reference point that can never be escaped. The presence that haunts every future attempt at love. Now a terrible truth must be faced. Your standards were never too high. You did not demand too much. You did not ask for impossible things. Actually, you did not ask for enough. Settling for games happened when something real was available. Choosing dysfunction happened when peace was possible. Picking chaos happened when stability was offered. And now this truth is known. Now this reality is felt. Now this regret is lived with every single day. But that clock keeps ticking. Time keeps running out. Because while nostalgia drowns everything, while memories suffocate everything, while regret consumes everything, truth is coming with unstoppable force. People are asking questions that demand answers. Inner circles are starting to distance themselves. Support systems are crumbling rapidly. Someone needs to step up and validate the lies. Someone needs to come forward with information. Someone needs to provide salvation from exposure. But nobody is coming forward. The rescuers who were counted on are not showing up. The people who were expected to provide backup are backing away instead. The individuals who were supposed to lie on command are choosing silence, because everyone can see truth now. Everyone understands what really happened. Everyone recognizes who was really who, and nobody wants to go down when everything collapses. So searching continues, looking continues, trying to find something, anything that will support false stories continues with increasing desperation. But you outsmarted everyone without even trying. You defeated everyone by simply being authentic. You won by walking in truth, and now everyone must sit with the reality that something real got destroyed for something fake, something valuable got gambled for something worthless, gold got thrown away while being mistaken for ordinary, when everyone knew it was rare. Then it happens. The pressure cooker explodes. The hamster wheel shatters into pieces. The tower falls. Everything built on lies comes crashing down in one devastating moment. This is the climax. This is the breaking point. This is when divine justice makes its move and no reversal is possible. Someone finally speaks up. Someone who knew truth steps forward. Someone who had receipts provides them. Someone who witnessed everything testifies. And just like that, the whole operation gets exposed. The dark whispers get revealed. The lies get uncovered. The manipulation gets made plain for everyone to see. And everyone involved is standing in wreckage with no defense, no excuse, no way out. Inner circles scatter like roaches when lights come on. People who were bold in supporting lies suddenly cannot be reached. Individuals who were confident in their stance are mysteriously quiet. Friends who claimed ride or die status are suddenly busy elsewhere. Family members who were enabling everything are claiming ignorance. Nobody wants association with this disaster now. Nobody wants names attached to this failure. Nobody wants to go down with sinking ships. The person at the center of everything is devastated, absolutely crushed, because everything is coming out into the open. Every lie told, every story twisted, every person manipulated, every boundary violated, every moment you got taken for granted, every time dysfunction got chosen over devotion, all of it, exposed, undeniable, permanent. But here is where intensity increases even more. Remember those dark whispers. Remember what was being wished on you. Remember how people wanted you sad, broken, feeling isolated, completely crushed. All of that is manifesting in the lives of those who wished it now. Everything attempted to be put on you is landing on them instead. The backfire is complete. The karma is delivered. The consequences have arrived. People wanted you to look bad. Now looking terrible is their reality. People wanted you isolated. Now being alone is their experience. People wanted you to fail. Now failing is their situation. People wanted you broken. Now being shattered is their condition. People wanted you to feel rejection pain. Now experiencing it is their daily life. Everything thrown at you has boomeranged back and hit with twice the force. And you are standing tall. You are at peace. You are whole. You are free. You did not have to defend yourself. You did not have to argue your case. You did not have to prove anything to anyone. Your life became your testimony. Your character spoke for itself. Your truth prevailed without you having to fight for it. Because that is what happens when you are protected. That is what happens when you are covered. That is what happens when you walk in complete integrity. Sleep has become impossible for those who plotted. Peace has vanished completely. Anxiety runs through everything constantly. Stress overwhelms every moment. Conversations replay endlessly in minds. Every moment gets examined. Every choice gets questioned. And there is no escape from truth. Attempts at coping are failing. Drinking does not numb anything. Distractions do not ease anything. Denial does not change anything. Reality presses down like a weight that cannot be lifted. Something real got destroyed. Someone irreplaceable got lost. Everything got gambled and lost. And there is no undo button, no reset option, no way to go back in time. You are being watched thriving. You are being observed healing. You are being witnessed growing. You are being seen glowing. You are being noticed at peace. And this destroys everyone who expected the opposite. Anticipation was that you would fall apart. Assumption was that you needed what you left. Belief was that you could not make it alone. But you are proving every wrong assumption wrong with every single day. You are not just surviving what happened. You are thriving beyond what happened. You are not just getting by day to day. You are leveling up continuously. You are not just existing through the motions. You are living fully and completely. And that reality devastates those watching more than any words you could ever speak. Your success is your vindication. Your peace is your power. Your growth is your victory. And observation must happen from a distance, with full knowledge that participation could have happened, but chaos got chosen instead. Bridges are burning in every direction around those who opposed you. People thought to be solid are proving to be situational. Relationships assumed to be genuine are revealing superficiality. Support counted on is evaporating into nothing. And with each connection that breaks, with each person that walks away, with each bridge that burns, isolation increases, loneliness grows, awareness of what got lost when you got lost becomes clearer. But remember what got established at the beginning. Remember your position as the reference point. Watch how this plays out going forward. Attempts to move on will happen. New relationships will be pursued. New connections will be attempted. And every single time, comparisons to what existed with you will happen. Every new person will fall short of your standard. Every new situation will feel empty compared to what was. Every new attempt will remind everyone of what real love actually felt like. And that comparison will haunt everyone involved for the rest of their lives. This is not about you being vindictive toward anyone. This is not about you wanting suffering for anyone. This is simply natural consequence of losing someone rare. When you experience something real and then try to settle for imitation, nothing ever feels right again. When you taste authentic love and then try to accept counterfeit affection, you always know the difference. When you have someone who shows up fully and then try to deal with someone who only gives partially, the gap becomes too obvious to ever ignore. Reaching out will be attempted. Calls will be tried. Conversations will be requested. Explanations will be offered. Another chance will be begged for. Your support will be needed. Your help will be requested. Your gifts will be wanted. Your mind will be needed. Your wisdom will be sought. Funny how all of that gets needed now when it got downplayed before. Discussion about cutting off toxic people will be wanted. Talk about leaving toxic environments will be attempted. Your advice on dealing with chaos will be requested. The irony is thick enough to cut. The audacity is stunning beyond belief. The nerve is absolutely unbelievable. But this is how things always work. People do not value what exists until it disappears. Gifts do not get appreciated until they get lost. Blessings do not get recognized until they walk away. Gaslighting happened about hidden secrets. Things were known that never got told. Participation happened in things that never got admitted. Permission was given for things that never got addressed. And now everything is coming out. Now truth is surfacing. Now secrets are being revealed. And getting ahead of it becomes priority. Controlling the narrative becomes essential. Explaining before you hear from someone else becomes urgent. Look, you already know the attacks weren't random, and if you're paying attention, you can feel it. Their walls are closing in. So let's talk about what we're doing about it. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity, and repurposing it to serve cooperative intelligence. The beauty is you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and your subconscious is rewired, while your enemies collapse under the weight of their own lies. This is why I created it in the beginning, so everything they did to break you becomes fuel for your purpose. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today, and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. But you already know everything. You picked up on patterns. Your intuition showed you reality. Your discernment revealed truth. Your spirit exposed deception. You saw the signs clearly. You connected the dots accurately. You understood what was happening completely. And that is exactly why you are not interested in explanations. That is precisely why you do not want to hear excuses. That is specifically why phone calls go to voicemail. That is definitively why messages get left on read, because you learned something powerful through this entire experience. You learned that not everyone deserves access to you. You learned that your energy is precious and requires protection. You learned that your time is valuable and should not get wasted. You learned that your peace is priceless and should never be compromised. You learned that closure is something you give yourself, not something you need from someone else. Gifts want to be given. Gestures want to be made. Tokens want to be presented. Something to show selflessness is being prepared. Something to prove change has happened is being crafted. Something to demonstrate understanding has arrived is being created. But you do not need any gifts. You do not require any gestures. You are not moved by any tokens, because you have something no gift can match. You have yourself back. You have your peace back. You have your power back. You have your life back. And that is worth infinitely more than any gift that could be offered. That is more valuable than any gesture that could be made. That is more precious than any token that could be presented. You walked away from dysfunction and into freedom. You left chaos and found peace. You released toxicity and embraced wholeness. And no phone call, no explanation, no apology can compete with what you have now. Let me reveal what you gained through this process. Because you are not the same person who entered this situation. You have been transformed completely. You have been refined thoroughly. You have been elevated permanently. And the version of you standing here now would never tolerate what the old you once accepted. This situation taught you discernment like nothing else could have taught you. You can spot manipulation now before it fully forms. You can recognize gaslighting in its earliest stages. You can identify toxic patterns from a distance. You can see through false narratives immediately. You can detect inauthentic energy the moment it enters your space. Your radar has been calibrated precisely. Your intuition has been sharpened completely. Your awareness has been heightened permanently. You learn that your patience is not weakness worth exploiting. Your understanding is not foolishness worth taking advantage of. Your commitment is not desperation worth manipulating. Your love is not a character flaw worth mocking. These are strengths. These are gifts. These are superpowers. The problem was never you having these qualities. The problem was others not being worthy of receiving them. The problem was others not being mature enough to honor them. The problem was others not being evolved enough to reciprocate them. And you learned something even more powerful about yourself. You learned that walking away is not giving up on something good. Setting boundaries is not being difficult for no reason. Protecting your peace is not being selfish without cause. Choosing yourself is not being wrong about anything. You learned that you can love someone deeply and still leave them completely. You can care about someone genuinely and still cut them off entirely. You can have history with someone and still create distance. You can recognize potential in someone and still refuse to wait for them to reach it. Your standards are higher now than ever before. Not because you are being unreasonable, not because you are being too picky, not because you are being unnecessarily difficult, but because you finally understand your value completely. You finally recognize your worth accurately. You finally see what you bring to the table clearly, and you are no longer willing to settle for crumbs when you are offering a feast. The way you love has not changed at its core. You still love with that same intensity, that same commitment, that same depth, that same authenticity. But now you are selective about who receives it. Now you are careful about who gets access to it. Now you are protective of who experiences it, because you learned that not everyone deserves it. Not everyone can handle it. Not everyone will honor it. This transformation is permanent and irreversible. There is no going back to who you were before. There is no returning to what you once accepted. There is no reverting to old patterns that harmed you. You have crossed a threshold that cannot be uncrossed. You have passed through a doorway that only opens one way. You have entered a new dimension of self-awareness and self-respect, and the old version of you no longer exists anywhere. While others deal with consequences, you are being positioned for blessings. While others experience loss, you are being set up for gain. While others watch things fall apart, you are about to see things come together in ways you never imagined possible. Everything that got blocked is being released to you. Every door that got closed is being opened by a force nobody can fight. Every opportunity that got sabotaged is being restored to you multiplied. Every blessing that got cursed is being activated in your life right now. The universe is not just giving back what got taken. The universe is giving back what got taken plus substantial increase. You are about to connect with people who actually deserve access to you. Individuals who recognize your value without you having to prove it repeatedly. Humans who appreciate your loyalty without testing it constantly. Souls who honor your commitment without taking it for granted. Energies who match what you bring without you having to beg for reciprocity. New opportunities are coming that align with who you have become. Doors are opening that fit your elevated standards perfectly. Possibilities are emerging that match your transformed energy completely. And the beautiful part, none of it requires you to compromise anything. None of it demands you to settle for less. None of it asks you to shrink yourself. You get to show up fully as who you are and be celebrated for exactly that. You do not gloat about anything. You do not need to. Your life is the statement. You do not argue with anyone. You do not need to. Your peace is the proof. You do not defend yourself to anyone. You do not need to. Your character speaks louder than any words ever could. You simply keep being exactly who you are. Keep growing, keep glowing, keep rising, keep winning. When reaching out gets attempted, and it will, you do not owe your time to anyone. When explanations get offered, and attempts will be made, you do not owe your attention to anyone. When closure gets sought, and it will be needed, you do not owe that to anyone either, because closure is something you give yourself. Resolution is something you create internally. Peace is something you cultivate independently. You have learned to be ruthlessly protective of your energy, unapologetically selective about your circle, uncompromisingly clear about your boundaries, undeniably confident in your standards, and anyone who has a problem with any of that can stay exactly where they are, outside your space, outside your peace, outside your life. The beautiful thing about this position you hold now, you are completely free. Free from drama that was not yours, free from chaos you did not create, free from manipulation you did not deserve, free from games you did not start, free from cycles you did not need, free from dysfunction you did not cause, and that freedom is worth more than anything that could ever be offered. That peace is more valuable than any explanation that could ever be given. You walk differently now. You talk differently now. You move differently now. There is authority in your step, confidence in your voice, power in your presence. People can sense it when you speak. People can see it in how you carry yourself. You are not the same person who accepted less than deserved. You are transformed. You are elevated. You are untouchable. Searching continues even now. Looking for information that does not exist continues desperately. Trying to validate lies continues frantically. Hoping someone will step up and provide salvation from exposure continues futilely. But time has run completely out. The clock hit zero. The deadline passed, and everyone is left standing in wreckage of their own making, looking at you thriving in the distance, understanding finally and completely what got lost. You outsmarted everyone without even trying. You won by simply being authentic. You defeated everyone by walking in truth. You dominated by choosing peace. And now everyone must live with the reality that the best thing that ever happened to them got destroyed by their own hands. Gold got gambled, thinking it was ordinary. Rare got thrown away, thinking it could be found again. A blessing got treated like a burden, and the consequences of that will follow everyone involved forever. Because here is what cannot be escaped by anyone. Every relationship attempted after you will be compared to you. Every person encountered will be measured against your standard. Every connection tried will fall short because it cannot match what existed with you. You are the presence that haunts every future possibility. You are the standard that ruins every other option. You are the reference point that can never be escaped by anyone who knew you. And you are free to live fully without restraint, free to love again when you are ready, free to trust again when it gets earned, free to open your heart again when it becomes safe. But this time, you move with wisdom gained. This time, you operate with discernment sharpened. This time, you show up with clear boundaries established. This time, you love with your eyes wide open. Your standards are not too high for the right person. You did not ask for too much from anyone. You did not demand the impossible from anyone. You simply required basic respect, genuine loyalty, authentic commitment, and real love. And if that feels like too much for someone, then that person is not your person. If that feels like pressure to someone, then that person is not your match. If that seems unreasonable to someone, then that person is not your blessing. The person who is meant for you will not feel burdened by your standards. That person will feel grateful to meet someone with them. That person will not be intimidated by your boundaries. That person will be relieved you have them. That person will not be threatened by your growth. That person will be inspired by it. That person will not take your love for granted. That person will cherish it like the rare gift it truly is. And until that person comes into your life, you are perfectly content being exactly where you are. Whole, healed, free, strong, wise, powerful, protected, blessed. You do not need anyone to complete you. You do not need someone to validate you. You do not need a relationship to define you. You are complete as you are. And anyone who gets access to you from this point forward better recognize that fact immediately. So keep your head up high. Keep your standards elevated. Keep your boundaries strong. Keep your peace protected. Keep your energy guarded. Keep your heart open to what is right, while staying closed to what is wrong. Keep being the reference point. Keep being the standard. Keep being the rare. Keep being the real. Everyone will remember you forever. Not because you tried to be memorable, but because you were real, in a world full of fake. Because you were loyal in a world full of betrayal. Because you were committed in a world full of games. Because you loved authentically, in a world full of pretenders. That is the power of being a chosen one. And now everyone knows. Now everyone understands. Now everyone recognizes what they had and what they lost. And everyone will carry that knowledge for the rest of their life. While you get to walk away from this chapter free, whole, healed, and ready for everything that has been prepared for you since before you were born. Welcome to your power, chosen one. Welcome to your elevation. Welcome to the rest of your life. It is going to be